In an age of concern about climate change, some people have become opposed to the very idea of having children. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is warning that it could be immoral to have kids.
Our planet is going to be a disaster if we don't turn this ship around. And so it's basically like there's scientific consensus that the lives of children are going to be very difficult. And it does lead, I think, young people to have a legitimate question. You know, is it okay to still have children?
Some people decided that no, it is not okay to have children. Blythe Pepino is a co-founder of Birth Strike. It's a group of people who are refusing to have children in order to resist climate change. And she joins us tonight. Blythe, thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
This story makes me sad. I'm not here to attack you. I want to take what you're saying seriously. But I'm not sure I understand why you're choosing not to have children. So I would be grateful if you'd tell us.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for asking, because a lot of people are getting a little bit confused about what we're trying to do here. Birth Strike isn't about trying to stop other people from having children. We feel too afraid to have kids because we feel that we're heading towards civilization breakdown as a result of the environmental crisis and the sort of mismanagement or political inertia over dealing with it. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It's a sadder answer even than I imagine. I mean, because there are a lot of people who argue that nobody should have kids. That's one argument. You're basically saying the species is over, it's hopeless, we should, in effect, as a group, end it, commit suicide.
Well, I think where we are now is incredibly frightening, and what I discovered when I made the decision and started talking about it to other young women around me was that we felt like we'd lost faith in the system and the authorities, because they weren't really dealing with the situation. They weren't managing the threat properly that we've been told about. So yes, it is quite sad, but at the same time, Birth Strike itself is a hopeful act. What we're trying to say is, come on, we've got two options. You know, we either unite collectively behind action on this immediately, because we're already heading towards the collapse, or we consign ourselves to, I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's true, extinction.
So what makes me so sad is this is a metaphor for the broader West's loss of the will to live, which is so obvious everywhere you turn. I wonder, though, did it occur to you, and I'm not disagreeing with your forecast that there are bumpy times ahead, that's obvious, but wouldn't it be a mark of defiance, maybe part of the solution, to have a bunch of smart, decent children who might solve these problems?
Yeah, I totally understand that point of view. And there's been people in my life who are very aware of the severity of what we're heading to, who have made that decision. And they've said, you know, it's the kind of most hopeful act that you could take, is to have a child in these times. And I do respect that. I do respect that.
What if you were to fly to Africa tonight and just do a tour, a lot of dozens, of course, scores of countries in Africa, but if you were to just pick 5 and meet 10 people in each on the street and explain what you're doing, what do you think their reaction would be?
I have no idea.
Do you think people outside the West can understand this? Do you think there's any other civilization that has decided things are so hopeless we must all die?
I really don't know. I wouldn't be able to say.
Huh. Do you, I mean, is this something you've thought for a long time, or tell us how you were convinced that things are so bad that you shouldn't reproduce?
Well, yeah, I think that, I mean, I've been concerned about the environment for a long time, but you know, I got distracted by my career and just being a young person and living the life that I saw other people on television living, and that seemed to be the right thing to do. And then the last few years, I just kept reading more and more things. And last year with the IPCC report that came out, and then the Met report, and things that have been corroborated by pretty much 99% of the scientific community, if not all, sane scientists. It's pretty incontrovertible now, I would say.
So what, and I don't mean this as criticism, I mean it sincerely, what you're describing sounds very much like a religious conversion, and the life you're living seems almost a monastic life. Has that occurred to you?
A monastic life? I don't think, no, you should come and hang out with me.
You're giving up family for the cause. Okay, just a thought.
I've got loads of children around me, and I'm fighting for them, really. This is my way of saying, come on, humanity, we've got two options. We're either going to commit some kind of species suicide by ignoring the issue because we're too afraid of the change or something, or we're going to unite together and at least try and manage some of the collapse that's predicted in a sensible and rational way. But
look,
I'm not living a monastic
we just
life,
met.
no.
It's a little early for me to be giving you advice, but I just want to end with this. I think you should have children. I think they solve a lot of problems and put things in perspective. You seem like a nice person.
We don't have time.
I bet you'd love it.
We don't have time.
Yes, we do. There's always time. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.